My name is Fran Biderman-Gross. I am the CEO and strategista, as they call me, of Advantages. We help companies get noticed, and we help them build from the inside up.
So is getting noticed only marketing or branding, or what is your focus for on getting noticed?
Our focus is pretty much to redirect the spotlight on the CEO or driver of the company, because their personality is their living brand. And what we do is help them understand what their cause, their purpose, belief, or their why is, and help them.
Simon Sinek.
Yes, very Simon. We're very close. And how they understand what their differentiating value properties are, or what their decision-making pattern is, because that's really, to us, it's a complete farming ground for marketing campaigns to attract other like-minded other entrepreneurs or customers or even employees.
Because until the CEO understands the core of the vision, it's hard to then get other people on board, drink that Kool-Aid kind of thing?
Well, let's put it this way. So this is my little analogy. We help companies build from the inside up. What does that really mean? Well, the CEO really is the core, that unconsuming passion, why they started the company. Now they have a job to do. Now they have to grow the company. They have to sell more product, hire more people. So much like a tree, which has solid ground roots, you can't have a really aged, fruitful tree unless the core is solid and has ages of complexity through it, much like the rungs in a tree. Every rung is another layer of complexity. Now, it's all connected back to the core. If the core, or the CEO or the driver, doesn't have a message that's easy to articulate, you're not going to connect with the people that you're never going to connect with. So you have to find a way to connect with them. So if you live your brand and you have a way to really articulate your message in a way that people understand, it'll be easy for them to repeat it.
How many CEOs do you think don't get the idea that they are as important, their brand is as intertwined as the company's brand, their image?
They don't get it. More often than not, they don't see the disconnect until they have communications, a website, a business card, a marketing kit, a leave behind, a show booth that is not cohesive and has different messages. And when you kind of put it all out on the table, you're like, wait a minute, something happened and something went wrong. So where do you pull back and say, okay, I need to start again? They don't really want to start again. But really what they need to understand is how they need to level and how they need to change. Not the way they're doing things, just the way they're speaking about it, so that there's consistency.
Today we're talking about content is king. All right, and so once you have your message, then you have to then start putting out information that's going to bring in others, right?
Absolutely.
So, but everybody hears, it's a cliche, content is king, content is king. Do you think people really understand what that means and how to employ that?
I'm going to say that the average human being doesn't understand. They think quantity and content is king, but it's quality of content that's king. How are you going to create a message that's repeatable? How do you identify with a potential client or a potential customer so that they embrace what you're selling? But really it's really about how are they going to embrace how they make them feel. People in general lead with, oh, hi, I'm selling an Apple computer, or I'm selling a computer and I'm selling an orange and want to buy it. And it's not about that. It's about where did this orange come from? Where did this fruit come from? Why should I eat it, and why is it important for me? Is it good for my body? Does it taste better than the others because it's organic, it's been grown this way? What is the story? What is the compelling piece that it's going to resonate with me, right, as the consumer or the person who's purchasing that item? So if you connect via story, again, there's only two ways that people buy things, intellectually and emotionally. You have a much better shot at repeating a purchase if you make an emotional connection first, because anybody will rationalize a purchase. Okay, maybe, I love the Hope I'm in, but I can't afford to buy it. Maybe I can't rationalize at that level. But if I'm going to buy the expensive, beautifully packaged chocolate that has a message that's speaking to me because I'm a chocoholic, doesn't mean that I'm just going to go buy, sorry about this, I'm going to buy the Hershey bar.
Sure.
But those who are
Yeah,
really
it's
loyal.
sexy to do that whether you're talking about chocolates. But I'm going to put you on the spot here a little
Sure.
bit. So let's go back to the computer analogy.
Yep.
What would be a way to make that an emotional connection?
Well, Apple does it perfectly, right? You knew you were going to walk into that one. I mean, Apple does it perfectly. There's no, I know I can't believe I'm actually going to say this on camera, but the iPad has absolutely no function in someone's life. It's Steve Jobs was brilliant. He created a section or a vertical of people who have to have it. They're the early adopters. They have to be cool, right? Apple, period, challenges the status quo. They just do. So if you can identify with challenging the status quo and that resonates with you, then you're going to do that over and over again. And you are going to be standing online from midnight the night before or ordering it 3 months in advance, no matter what it is, no matter what the functionality and capability is, because it's going to resonate with you.
Let's shift gears a second here.
Sure.
We were talking last week about entrepreneurs. You've met just a few in your line of work. What, in your mind, is an entrepreneur?
Oh, I love that question. Entrepreneurs are driven and relentless. They are passionate and they are focused. You hope. Because when they have focus, they have clarity. And when they have the clarity they need, they will be able to empower themselves to pretty much grow their companies, right? Entrepreneurs in general are very passionate people. Now, how do you get them to the next level, whatever that next level definition is you marry that passion with structure. And that's how they get there.
You marry that passion with structure by getting a team that can provide the structure.
You marry that passion with any kinds of structure, whether it's process structure, whether it's employee structure. They just need structure, right? Every person who has every business that virtually is not strategically positioned to open. There is a passion, there is something in that person to open that company that's passionate and uncontainable. And they're on a mission and they're a vision and they're driven to do it. They don't necessarily have the architecture laid out for them. Make sense?
Absolutely. If somebody wants to avail themselves of your services, how do they do that?
Send me an email. Pick up the phone.
Is there a website?
Oh, absolutely. Advantages.net. www.advantages.net.